Hey everyone, it's Yasuke. The most common question or concern I get when it comes to the viability of Mid Trynd is how do you deal with all these tough ranged matchups? When I talk to analysts about the possible viability of Mid Trynd, it's always the biggest concern that's brought up. Ranged matchups are often the hardest matchups to deal with in the top lane, so why would you go into a lane full of them? How do you find so much success in these matchups that all other Tryndamere players have issues with? So I wanted to create a video to help address those concerns, and here are 10 actionable steps that will help you make Mid Tryndamere work, and also help you with those pesky ranged top lane matchups. So the first tip is going to be Rune Page, and the one we're going to take is Phase Rush. The biggest reason we take Phase Rush is its ability to allow you to stick to any target. If you can't actually get to somebody, you can't do any damage to them. It allows you to consistently get 1 or 2 extra auto attacks into a trade, which will make it do more damage than any other rune choice you could make. It allows you to take a trade and either continue going and get more auto attacks in, or use the Phase Rush movement speed to disengage before they have a chance to react to it. You're also much safer from getting ganked because you can proc Phase Rush and just zoom right on out of the gank. Second tip is going to be rune stats, and I'm going to recommend taking double MR against AP champions and double armor against AD champions. This is going to give you a much easier time farming and sustaining through any poke damage you do take, and will give you much more value than the 5 AD you would get from Adaptive Force would otherwise give you. Tryndamere also has innate sustain built into his kit, which allows you to get more value from the armor or MR. Speaking of sustain, tip number 3 is going to be taking 3 anal beads as your starting items. These will prepare you for getting fucked in lane and make it not hurt as much. Tryndamere has one of the highest base health regenerations in the game, and since rejuvenation beads work off of base health regen, you get much more value out of it than other champions would. This increased sustain combined with the double resist runes increases your effective HP significantly. Since the 2 stats work synergistically with each other, having all of this extra EHP allows you to trade much more often and allows you to beat opponents simply through out-sustaining them. You can take even or bad trades and you will still win them because you will regen all of the damage from the trade. Another useful thing to note is that rejuvenation beads sell for 105 gold, so buying the extra 2 and selling them only loses you 90 gold. In comparison, Doran's items lose you 270 gold by buying and selling them. The fourth tip is learn when to give up CS. There are going to be times in which going for 1 CS will make you take harass that will later deny you several CS. Sometimes you have to give that cannon minion so that you can get more CS in the future. This is especially true because of how much sustain you have. In this example, because I gave up a few CS, it gave me enough time to regen enough to where TF had to concede lane because of how much health I had. The fifth tip is to stay away from your own minions while CSing. This is because mid is filled with wave clear champions, so if you're near your minions, you're letting them both harass you and push the wave at the same time. The next tip is to use your spin backwards to get CS. You want to do this when it looks like the enemy is going to harass you, because it gives them a much smaller window to do so as opposed to walking up and auto-attacking. The next tip is to spin through crowd control. This will make it so a significant duration of the CC happens during your spin animation. This means you are effectively CC'd for less time, and often results in enemies overextending because of them thinking that they're safe, because of the CC that they have. This makes matchups such as Ryze, TF, and Lissandra to become much easier, since you are taking away one of their tools. This does, however, not work against knockbacks and charms, which takes me into my next point, which is to take cleanse into matchups such as Zoe and Ahri. Ahri's charm and Zoe's sleepy trouble bubble are the primary tools that these champions use to keep you off of them. If these tools are ineffective for these champions, they have no way of pushing up aggressively. If they do, it becomes an easy kill for you. These tools are also how they get the rest of their damage off, so if they don't have them, they can't actually kill you. The ninth tip is to use Tiamat to CS from range. The Tiamat active extends out from your champion by a good 200 to 300 range, and that lets you last hit without opening yourself up to harass. The final tip is the best defense is a good offense. If the enemy laner knows that you're never going to go in on them, they can overextend as much as they want. So you want to punish them anytime they push up too far. If you can get the enemy to play scared, it makes you be able to be the one to dictate the pace of the lane and give you mid priority. Just remember that if you play like a bitch, people will treat you like one. If you play like a Chad, people have to respect it. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you learned something you can apply to your own gameplay, whether you want to try out mid or you just need help with those ranged matchups top lane. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and comment down below what you think my next video should be on, or if you have any other issues with these kind of matchups. Thank you to Espir for helping me make this video. He just recently started streaming. He's a Masters TF player, and you can check him down on Twitch and Twitter in the links down below. See you guys in the next video.